Do. Okay, it says that we're live. We're having technical difficulties today, folks. I apologize. So, if we can have Lois and Maria and Ian just to log back in, and I think we can get everyone in here. Odd. You know, it's like the gremlins are out there. So let's, I got Ian in here. So he will be joining us. And let's see. There he is. Ian, can you hear me? Can you, all right, let me see. Are you on mute? Can you hear us? We can't hear you. See, folks, it's and let's see. Okay. All right. And folks, you just have to bear with us. This is technology in its purest form. And I think that will bring Maria in. Good. Maria, can you hear me? Maria, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Maria?
Hello, Wayne.
Oh, okay. Ian, can you hear us? We can't hear you.
I can hear you well. Can you hear me?
Okay, now we can. Good. I guess the only one we'll be waiting for then is Warrior Queen. It's like, you know, it was her party, and that was very odd. I apologize to well, it's not my fault. I mean, Zoom was just zooming out.
Exactly.
Well, I hope Warrior Princess can get back in, Queen, excuse me, because I don't see her yet. We'll just give her. So, Ian, I don't know you. So welcome. I guess how do you know Lois?
That's a good question.
I love good questions. They always invite good answers.
Let's see. Lois was brought to my attention through a mutual acquaintance on Facebook called Judith Nolan.
Okay.
And Judith said to me, there's a beautiful angel down south that has a pantry that's I Am Love, and we need to help her. And I was introduced to her on YouTube because of the pantry. And then I got a notification about the daily reading. And she's been spot on. Our guidance systems are very familiar. Our higher selves are extremely well knowing of each other. And we just embraced. I haven't met her yet in person, as most people I haven't met in person. But I've met them on a solar level, which is still a sun.
Yes.
And have one of those per body, per sun. Here she is.
There she is.
The queen.
Put it this way.
Lois,
we're changing your name today to be the goddess of war. Since you're a warrior and was a princess, and now you're a queen coming into your goddess. So welcome to being Diana or Lilith or the amazing person that you are.
Lois, can you hear us?
I can hear you now.
We're here. Groovy, man.
Oh, my.
Oh, it's so good to see everyone. Well, you know, we try to get together occasionally here and raise you some money, Lois, for your food pantry. And I've supported this from the very beginning. And you obviously have other supporters, Ian, obviously, and Maria, you know, she's just become, you know, part of that anchor of the community. So how are things at the pantry going, Lois? That's the first thing I'd like to know.
It's still going pretty smooth. I didn't get the big hit when the government shutdown happened, so I'm kind of glad on that. but I did, stock up just in case.
Excellent.
So far, everything's still been kind of normal. I haven't seen a big dramatic, need.
Are donations coming in pretty regularly?
Huh?
Are donations coming in pretty regularly?
Not really.
Okay. Well, we have to try to see what we can do.
What we do like this, I might get a donation here and there. But
I don't have any donations on my page on the channel. I'll put yours in there, and then people can, if they want to donate, they can put money towards your cause.
Okay. Thank you.
I love.
Well, hey, that's how it's done, man. You just go. So, Miss Maria, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing excellent, Wayne.
Good.
Excellent. Yes.
How's everything in your part of the world?
It's raining over here. It's a little cold, but other than that, to me, I've just been feeling like the sun is always shining on me anyway, so I don't even have to worry about the rain. My husband's anniversary of his death is going to be tomorrow. So with that, I just feel nothing but love and happy. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm happy that, he's gone, but I'm not heartbroken like I was a year ago. I've been embracing my gift and helping others to the point where I'm free from all that pain. I'm free from that hurt.
Good point. I mean, that it's a contention that I have, is that we've been taught wrongly about death. Yes. And the departing. Ian, and personally, how I see it, we should celebrate these type of anniversaries. They're free. Yes. So, Ian, tell us a little bit about yourself, sir. It's so good to see you.
Well, I will say this from the Jersey boy.
Excellent.
No wonder, I was wondering why I felt the way I did and why I was guided back to New Jersey, where my ascension started from. And Maria, you're helping me to see things a little bit clearer. Last night, when we did that long live talk,
4 hours, 44 minutes.
4 hours
and 4 seconds.
Minutes, 4 seconds.
Yes.
4, 4, 4.
Wow.
10, 4. 10,
yep.
4. 4, 10.
And when you add up the numbers of all the, the fours, you get 16. Then it brings down to a 7, which is my life path.
I'll put it this way. I was living, when we met Warrior Queen and Maria, at 444 Neptune Avenue.
I love that. Hey, Patrick, are you listening to this? It's cool.
By the sea of the magic dragon, who wears the rainbow hood.
I love it. I love it.
When I met Grey Wolf, we recognized our dragons recognized each other, and he started singing and dancing inside because he's like, the rainbow dragon is here and Ragnarok is about to begin, but it's not what we thought. When I met Patrick, his lilac dragon jumped in so forcefully in a nice way that his skin tone changed. Like Maria's skin tone is all bluish purplish right now, her aura. Truth speaker from the throat chakra. And of course, Wei, Ni, N for North, Uriel, East for Raphael, Earth and Air, dragon together. Hello. So I've always been one who seen patterns and symbology in what I call the Saba language, or the Sa as in see through here, Ba, meaning body mind, or what you call my ancestry, Sheba, from the Ethiopic lineages and the Ashanti lineages with the Orishas, being born this way, knowing, but not remembering everything at once. I will say, for the death portal of my father on October the 4th, 410, it strengthened my connection with spirit. Because to fortify 4 and 5, which is wisdom, opening gates, which is cat or katriel, or undu toi kat, which is 4. I'm a linguist that speaks many languages. I've stopped counting. But all of my simultaneous incarnations are allowed to express through my throat chakra, speaking their original language, but my crown and my 6th chakra automatically translates them into earth-based languages in English. But it comes across as poetry. It comes across as the griot, or the person who sings the songs. And if you're a Lion King fan, you remember that little monkey Rafiki?
I didn't see the movie.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, you've got to see the circle of life.
That one I just missed. I have to get into that.
So what I've been seeing happening is Lois's grandma and great grandma, or I should just say her grand matriarchs, have presented us with the gifts, and they've drawn us together, 4 of us, look, 410, to help us strengthen each other. Because though we are in different geographical locations, we're still in cardinal points. We're still way showers, grid keepers, gate openers, and access points to many decades of eons.
I can get behind that.
Yeah. So
when I have, it's a delight to meet you, because it's obviously wisdom that you possess. Where would you say that you see humanity today, Homo sapiens? Where do you buy into the fact that we're actually in the midst of the 6th great collapse? Or I'd be curious to see how the ancestors see this, because we're definitely heading somewhere, and I don't think it's the destination many of us were hoping for.
Well, we are embarking like a ship arc. We are in the process of reestablishing the 7th root race.
Okay.
And when I say root, it's R-O-T-E, root. And
Ian, not to cut, every time you say this, and I wrote it down, that 6th chakra, it's one of the things that Lilith talked about a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My lily of the valley. My lily.
Yeah.
Lily.
Yeah.
My lowest lily. Because we are high and low together. High, low, hello. Hello.
Yes.
The 6th chakra is so key right now, because that's the 6th chakra that's named for me. It's called indigo.
Okay.
In the I go. Which is the bridging of Virgo, Leo, and Libra, which is balance, Ophiuchus, the 13th, or the hidden sign. So what's happening internally in our hearts, those with the eye open, the 6th chakra, indigo, are able to bring in this light called the iridescent ray.
Okay.
The ancestors call it iridescent, or recent, or timeless, or I ride the scent of it, the sensory input of the 3rd eye. So what's differentiating some human sapiens from the human luminous is the ability to utilize the antenna and attenuate cosmic wisdom by being peacekeepers, way showers, or new path openers, closing of old stargates, old timelines, and the reestablishing of new patterns. And when I say Pat Hearne's, I'm putting an H in there because the language is not necessarily grammatically spelt correctly. The language is phonetic.
Mm-hmm. Hello, the Phoenicians.
Right, the Phoenicians. And we are many that have lost our high definition.
Hell, I think they're gone back to those smoke signals, but that's just...
I agree.
Smoke signals, you get it?
You got it.
Of the magic dragon who lives by the sea.
So Lois, you're sitting here. What do you think? By the way, Ian, there's a question that I have on, one of the things that I took from the Liber, Lilith, was that it reaffirmed that not all vessels have the same spirit.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We need to teach more on that because there's great mystery there. And I think that they may be part of the root problem of our species is that we're not recognizing, like our bodies will have different tones and tints, but the spirit seems to be of a different origin.
Right. For many people, they look at my people that have the serpent wisdom,
mm-hmm.
and they will marginalize us and say, if it's serpent or serpentine, then it's evil. Not understanding that your veins and arteries function in your biological systems as serpentine pathways for nourishment and information throughout your biologos. So if you are logged in correctly, logos, Holy Spirit, Great Spirit, Shamanic Spirit, Manitou, Wakantanka, Hindu, Indian, African, all of those of the original star seeds, seeders, because we have been seeded many times. Different civilizations or different galactic civilizations have tried to enter the great genomic experiment, but they've added to, and not realizing sometimes that if you had a petri dish, whatever you add to this petri dish, whatever was there before becomes the content. Whatever you've added to it is the content as well. But it's which version of the content that you're able to access.
Yes,
so I teach an online course right now on inner metamorphosis.
Intermetamorphosis. Interesting.
Inner metamorphosis.
Mm-hmm.
And the next grade is the spiritual awakening, because it's helping those to understand the temple of the body, the different nervous systems, digestive systems, reproductive system, which is still ingesting a form of nutrient, seminated, gestational, and also using the grapheme, the written, and the phoneme, the spoken, to help the neurolinguistic programming or the reformatting of the cellular expression. It works for every group of people that have been here, like from the head, the neck, the shoulders, the chest, and all of these different bursts of civilizations. But it takes all of us mutually respecting each other to see around the great round table like King Arthur and the Pendragon and Merlin.
As you were talking, I'm drawn back to, again, what Lilith said, that when Samuel gave the spark to these mud bodies,
Right.
that the thing was that spark did not just simply enter in. It had to have, and now as you were talking, I'm seeing it where Lilith used the term demons, archons of a higher nature that carried that spark throughout to every organ, every part of the body. You could easily have interpreted that as each demon, each eon would be of a different civilization, a different mindset. Yeah.
And at the end of the Kali Yuga,
there was this hidden one that was supposed to be a unifier, a unified cat.
Mm-hmm.
The wisdom that was hidden in the time of Kemet, the magic of Isis and Osiris, white magic, was hidden in cat, or hidden in the cat. And the cat iron, or the kator, or the indicator, the keepers of ancient wisdom, as it was said in the indigenous cultures, at the end of the Kali Yuga, we all have to gather for the Hopi, E.T., Hopi, extraterrestrial, Hopi Indians, the indigenous birth of the paradise, or seeing the pair of dice as 66, or understanding the melanin compound in 666, the symbol or the mark of man, or mankind. Those are simply electrons, protons, neutrons that are marked to function or respond to a particular sine wave.
No, yeah, we've talked about that on my channel in depth.
Man, we do need to talk, because I've not watched anything on your program, so I don't know. I'm blind, so to speak, as to what you have discussed prior. But I know, if you know Lily, and she calls and she tells you I'm a Liber or Liber, then you know me as the librarian.
Yeah. Yeah,
the
she visited me.
Or the one that takes the horn off Aries and turn Aries into a U, which is the feminine aspect of the god of war. Ramses and U, or Asar and Aset, or Tefnut or Sheshet. And I didn't study none of these things, but it's in the DNA.
I would agree with that 110%. Absolutely. So Lois,
110.
I see that. So my dear, talk to us. You've been sitting back.
Well, it seemed like I was having an interesting conversation, and I can put us in that conversation. Me and Maria just
Maria's over there turning purple and blue. Purple and blue.
I wanted to interrupt a little bit, because that's the masculinity. We had to get our femininity in there. Like, wait up, hell up.
Coming through.
Hey, I got my femininity in there too with the masculinity. You have to marry them. You got to marry them.
We're balancing them right now.
Yes, Jersey girl.
Well, we're here to raise money for the food pantry, and I think we've pretty well got the message. Use the PayPal; it's safe. Or if you like, the address for the food pantry is in the description. And let's see what we can do on this. I think this is a great opportunity. And Ian, I thank you, because you've brought an insight that I wasn't expecting. So to me, I'm being fed already. And, I have found that to feed my spirit is far more excellent than to feed my body. So that's right. Just my take. For a white guy.
Glad I was able to bring what we call manna, or buns dancing, abundance.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And
I like my
our dear Lily in Shreveport, we've been talking off and on about doing a fish fry get together local there for people who love and support her channel to come together in the person, in the physical, and be on the drum, play some music and dance.
I tell you,
I'm down. But minus a fish fry for me. No seafood for me.
Like I said, I always like the abundance, and I think Lois, you got that. As long as it's got cinnamon swirl in it, I'm all for it, man. Let's go for it.
I just baked a cinnamon raisin bagel. Hey.
Wow.
You see. I'm kind of curious. I'll just throw this out there. Ian, what you're talking about in one aspect is it's an acceleration of where we once were, but at the same time, there's always the antithesis present. And do you think it's going to be able to get out to more, or are we just living, are we the remnant?
Well, yes, we are the remnant of those who are considered the crumbs.
Mm.
But it's with the crumbs that we affect the chromosomes.
I like that.
Remember, Chronos. Time.
I know that dude.
Yeah, the big dude. Chronos times had to be splintered into many little crumbs so that it was edible for the edifice to build up the body of humanity from the foot or defeat into a new kingdom. Ironically, iron, and Kali, Kali Yuga, ironically, you have to see the comedian or the joke that comes at the end as the juxtaposition, because everything was hidden inside. It was hidden in the cat. So if you've never respected the divine feminine, you can never get the cat.
Let's just get real about here, because I have certainly taken it in the back, because they have some seriously. I mean, you got some white dude out there, talking about this ancient goddess, this deity that, in my opinion, is God. And, she has been painted, how shall we say, as dark as the new moon,
Yes.
But
that's why he said, moons over your mama. You will see moons over Miami. I will show you my surface, or you will see my ass. Say, do you live on her face? Is it her surface, or do you live on her butt?
I love it. Now I know where that term "kiss my ass" comes from.
Right. But when you do speak to Lilith, she is very strong. But she's very loving. Very loving. She doesn't wish no ill will towards nobody. She's been helping so many of us to wake up, but we just been, blinded, not knowing the truth. She knows that you doing her doing her shows. She just says that everything that has been written about her is just nothing but lies.
Bullshit. That's what she said.
Yeah, I try to be clean with it.
Hey, listen, the only way I'll be clean with it is I'll find nice ways that sound like the word, but has a more refined meaning. But if I'm going to tell you about your ass, I've got to tell you about your I say, which is still your energy.
Right.
Yeah,
and if your energy smells like ass, that's just what it is.
Yeah, she visited me the other night. That experience I had, waking up in the middle of the night, and we sleep under a lot of covers. But anyway, freezing cold. This was a cold that was the inside, and I was pretty drained yesterday. And I was meditating on it, and that's what happens when you get kissed by a deity that is beyond our comprehension.
Let me tell you something about that cold feeling. It's called a cold freeze burn, where when you feel it on the inside of the bone and you start shaking, if you open to it, it feels like you're being tickled by many different things that can't touch you, but you can't touch it. And it's on the inside to the outside, and it wakes you up out of your deep sleep.
And my dog sensed it. And this is the strange thing, we have a toy fox terrier. She's always right next to me. I woke up yesterday morning. She is on the other side of the bed. She was shivering. So whatever was in there was tangible to her.
Do you remember that this week was the celebration of Om Namah Shivaya?
I did not. What is that? Explain that.
Shiva, or the goddess Shiva, is typically depicted as half male, half female, half light, half dark, in a mudras position, with one tip rooted to the earth, while the top is connected to Brahma or the heavens or Vishnu, or the one that dreams the vision that is actualized as our physical reality.
So love to get into this, and we have to get you on a one-on-one. This could be interesting because, well, the one thing that Lilith taught us, and if you want a copy of it, I've got your email. I'll send you a copy of the library. She told us so much about what you're talking about, the dream state. The dream state is a state of consciousness.
Yes, it's
as tangible as this realm that we coexist as we are sitting here.
Exactly.
That's
I accessed the Liber Rose in 2014 when I was directed to leave New York on Neptune and return to Philadelphia, which is across the river from where I am now, and that I had to do it by July the 4th. And I didn't know how I was going to get there, but I did. And when I got there, I was directed to the Masonic Hall, to the City Hall downtown, and also to the Liberty Bell. The bell is the shape of the rose.
Yeah.
And I went and actively in my human form in the third density, while still connected to my layers of many different forms, brought the energy there, made contact. And that was when, after doing that, I was directed to, now you must go west. You have touched east. You're going to Seattle next. And I'm like, how am I going to get there? Next thing I know, someone sent me a ticket to Seattle, and I was there.
Ian, while you were talking, as you were talking about Philadelphia, I was right down on the corner where the Ritz-Carlton is, which is right down the street from the Liberty Bell. So anyway, as you were talking, I was seeing multiple dimensions of realities. As you were walking down the street, there are yet in different realms walking down the same street, but not in the same space.
Exactly. Which is part of quantum computation, where there is no point of origin, like the ring, the Ouroboros. You have an unknown point of origin. That unknown point of origin is the 0 point where time and space does not exist. But data can still occupy those fields as +1, -1.
Lois, you got to meet this guy. I'm serious. I mean, this is far out. Let me just invoke favor on everyone listening. Typically I do that before we start, but listen, I think this is part of that favor factor. It's part of that restoration. And Ian, you brought to everyone today a special treat of immense knowledge in a very short period of time.
Do you feel the goosebumps? Do you all feel it?
Yes.
When you ask for favor, a transmittal came through my crown, and it says, I'm not the Pope right now, but just like that, I will say, Adom in os virtua, virtue.
Yes.
Virtual realities. So, netter, mer netter, cushions the force of entry, ease and grace present.
I receive that. I do. I think so often, Ian and ladies, is that we send out very positive energy, but if there's not a receptor for it, it's just going to walk on by.
That's right.
Yeah.
As the song goes, walk
on. Exactly. See? We got it going. Lois, this is far out, girl. So, folks, come on. This is the type of wisdom that you're not going to find just hanging around. And I think it's worth, $5, $10. This is remarkable. And Ian, I'd love to have you back on. I think that this could just be a fascinating study. I'd be curious to see, once you read the Liber Lilith, what your take on it is. And I am just quite taken aback that this is a really special treat. So did you know this, Lois? Did you know all this?
Oh yeah, I figured you probably would like him.
Okay.
People, it's just getting the right people together, like Patrick. I know I was with Patrick.
Yeah.
He did shows all the time, but I knew once the right person, found Patrick, he would, do good.
I think that I just want to say this as well. I may be stepping out on a limb, but I do that all the time. Let me just say something, folks. When you have someone like the presence that we have with Lois, there is there's a power that is tenable that you can actually sense. And I often say this, if you sow into her dream, her prosperity of seeing this go, the laws of nature say that will always reciprocate back.
That's right.
And it never comes back at the same power that you sent it. It will always come back intensified.
Mm-hmm.
1,000-fold.
That's right.
I believe that. I absolutely believe it. In my former days as a, born again, spirit filled, tongue talking, laying on hands Christian.
It's him.
Listen, man, I was, I worked at many of the conventions with Kenneth Copeland. I know all those things. And go ahead, Ian.
Wayne.
Yes, sir.
There was a video that I met you guys on, and I heard when you spoke in light languages.
Yes.
And I immediately started responding and having a conversation with your higher self. Because wasn't I asking you last week, who was that guy? He was a white guy, but he spoke in tongues. He spoke light languages. Who is he? Where is he? Because at the time you were talking about the supercomputers that the Archon or other beings have used, trying to use AI to access what we do internally.
Yeah.
And when you started saying that, I immediately spoke back to you and say, they will not access the Akashic wisdom or seek to steal that which is eternal and true source.
Now, what I heard him say was that they will not get access to that which is sacred.
Exactly.
Wow.
Now, that's what I heard, And, this is a language I've had it since, I think it was engrafted into me in 1978. So it's been there a while.
It was engrafted to you the year my brother David was born.
Is that right?
He was born on October the 7th, 1978. I'm born October the 7th, 1966.
Wow.
Oh, man.
These languages have been in my father and my mother. They were both speaking these languages even before my conception.
Yeah.
And it took 2 weeks ago before my mother, and I've been doing this since 2012 after my father's death, the languages emerged in my waking state. But always as a child, when anyone would hear me sleeping and speaking in my sleep, they heard me speaking in this language.
Yeah.
So the dreamer awakened in the dream with the keeping keys of the libraries of lingua. Ancient of days, asiento siki Adonai, Adonai.
Adonai.
El Shiba, Yeshiva, El Shaddai Munki.
This is very interesting. We have to talk more. And folks, if you have, I don't know, Ian, I mean, for me, the language is, I respect it. It's one that, it's not for show. It's not to, it's a powerful language, very powerful. So
last year, I actually taught a class to my students called Divine Linguistics, using the 72 names that is recorded for God, and understanding how those forms or expressions are interwoven in all of the earth-based languages and galactic languages as well.
Yeah, the El Shaddai, you know, oh, this is very interesting. This is far out, actually. I love this.
We're going to break bread together soon. Cinnamon raisin bagel.
Exactly. So, Miss Maria, you've been sitting there so nice. And what do you have to say, my dear?
What I have to say, for me, is just everybody needs to just start living in their lives on the higher vibrations and no more on the lower vibrations. Start accepting yourself for who you really truly are. We are all goddesses and gods. We have knowledge and we have the gifts inside of us. We just need to awaken those gods and goddesses and share our knowledge. With you guys, I've learned so much. And Wayne, I just want to say thank you. You gave me a lesson last week when that whole mess. And you just stood humble and you just said, you know what, no more. Just send them love and favor and whatnot. And yeah, you just amazing. You teach us a lot of stuff. You know, you think us, we peer ponder and whatnot. And I was just like, embrace my divinity, Maria, last year from you with you guys. And I just been getting more in tune. And I just want to say I love you for all that.
We are family. And
yes.
You know,
don't mess with the family. And don't mess with my family.
Because you mess with the family, you're messing with us.
Yes. Yes. Because I got really upset.
You can't judge the book by the cover.
No,
that's right.
No.
You got to read the pages.
We've got to set the example. I mean, I don't want to leave this plane this time and say that I blew the opportunity.
Right. I think that's how we all feel right now. And I think this is like important timing. I don't know why, because I feel maybe there's a big event that's going to happen. And then
it's starting soon.
We are, as family, we are trying to spread that knowledge and wisdom to others. So that way our family could get bigger. But when you feel like you said, Wayne, you got to stop with the negativity and stop feeding that negativity and just feed it, but none but favor and love. And it's the love, it's the heart. The heart is the one that balances the upper chakras and the lower chakras.
Yeah, the lower chakra is kind of cool too, you know, but I like the higher, you know.
Right. We all need it to be balanced, and you know, but it's the heart it's what's in power.
So you know how I looked at that situation? I actually visualized the individual just giving him a noogie. Saying, you just doesn't need a noogie, you know?
I used to hate it when they used to do it on my head. I used to be like, ah!
You know, just give him a big hug and just say, it's okay, you know?
Yeah.
I think so many of us, you know, I think sometimes we need a hug. And I think sometimes people just need to cry. You just need to kind of just clear it out, man.
Right. Yes.
Be a baby.
Yeah, be a baby. I know a magician, a master magician, that he collects his tears. And if they're tears of joy, they are in a separate vial. If they're tears of sadness, different vial. And according to his alchemy, that each one has a different spiritual component to it.
You know, what's funny, before I knew any of these things, I was guided to go into Philadelphia on October the 6th and get a crystal. And the first time I touched a point that looked like this, but was clear quartz, I channeled. Didn't know what channeling was. But the moment I held it in my hands, I went rigid and I said, these are the frozen tears of God, forever immortal, never to fade away.
Wow.
And then I came back to myself and didn't remember I said it. And the people are looking at me like, dude, something just happened. What happened? And I'm like, stop looking at me like that. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's go, let's leave. They're like, no, 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 you can have this crystal. Please just tell us what you said in a normal tone. Wow. And I said, well, I think I said something about tears and crystals.
Wow.
And on the 21st of October, when I went to bury my father, there was a song in the hymnal for the process called "In the Land of Fadeless Day, where the crystal waters flow. There shall be no night there, for the Lamb is the innate light, the laminate, the Lamb inside of you, the Lambda consciousness." And immediately was when there was an outburst of thunder and lightning that struck the building, and I started seeing angels.
Yep. I'll share this with everyone. You know, I'm a person who sees visions, and I was taken up to a place that was made out of, it was the most purest crystal I've ever seen. And the archways were miles above. And there was this sea of crystal that laid before me. And then I was pulled back anyway, you know.
Well, on December the 21st, I had a visitation in 2012 where a light being came through the window. At first, it was just a beam of light, and then all the light coalesced in the darkness to form a humanoid-looking expression.
Mm-hmm.
That being explained to my mind telepathically that we were going to travel together, and that it needed to breathe through me and I through it, telepathically, and that what I exhale, it would transmute, and then what it exhale, I could breathe, because it would breathe oxygen and I would output carbon and it would be transmuted. I'm like, you're like a tree, but it was a crystal line being.
Wow.
Mm.
So as we agreed, I'm like, you know, it's kind of weird doing this first kiss thing when I just met you. And the being explained to me that it is the spirit of light that lives in my chest behind my heart.
That's what Lilith said.
Already inside of me, exhaling and inhaling with me. So we're not strangers at all. It's just a different form of expression. That's before I even knew what a Merkaba was or a light body was or any of that stuff.
Right. And don't they say that some another phrase for your spirit is a crystalline being?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And many of those who believe in transhumanism are thinking that the crystalline being is actually a robotic skin suit that's cloned, and then you can download the digital consciousness in ones and zeros inside the being. But they're completely discounting the soul. They have no knowledge of the sacred technology that the monad has imbued into the soul essence.
Right. Because it's supposed to be
understand that.
Mind, body, and soul.
Right. We're a triune being, or the trifold flame of the creator, which is the highest High Kodesh.
You know, Lilith, she taught us something yesterday that I had never heard before, but when Samuel comes to seduce the virgin, he enters in by the body of the spirit. Now, I had never heard that term, that phraseology. You know, you've heard spirit of the body, but to reverse that the body of the spirit, it clearly defines to me that the spirit is triune in more of its makeup than what we realize.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The body of the spirit is what many of, in Jewish mysticism, refer to as the chariot of the gods, the above and the below, or the two triangles intersecting in sacred union.
You see, deep, deep wisdom here, folks. You know, we're not going to leave Lilith. This is, we're going to continue, because I think that as we continue, even when we venture out, there is a reality that we're grounded to. No matter how much we may see other realities, we're grounded in this one.
That's right.
Yep. And we're here to bring it all into this now. Because if you think that these cells are not capable of transmutation or transformation, then you've missed the point in 1 Corinthians 15, especially in the 51st verse. You shall be changed in the opening of this eye. In a moment, momenter, place enter, the place where you receive it, the receptor, becomes the living word manifested, the living Torah.
Oh, yes, the Logos.
Yeah.
The Logos, the Holy Spirit, the hologram, the Holy Grail, the Tetragrammaton, the star tetrahedron, star Titavrahi Doctor One, the great physician, Raphael.
Mm-hmm.
So we found out that we know that the Apostle Paul had the liber, and Ian, you're just confirming because we've spent 9 hours going through that. Look what's happening, folks. It's showing up everywhere.
It is here.
It is here. Well, Lois, you really got to stop talking so much. I mean, it's very...
You know, people are going to say you're just talking to all of us.
I have a channel. You know, they can come check out my channel. When I do food pantry, I show that. I show the people coming in food pantry. I show them, you know, receiving food and the interaction between us. You know, if you subscribe to my channel, you can keep up with those and updates. And sometimes I will go into the pantry and show what I have. And that's a good way just to keep up with the pantry.
I'll put your link to your channel.
Problem. If I'm having issues or having a problem, sometimes I would tell it while I'm, you know, doing the little videos for the pantry.
Excellent.
Wayne, and she does excellent reading. Her readings are spot on. She's also doing healing.
Yeah.
So we've got to make more use of this. See, I didn't know this about you, Lois. You talk so much. It's just so hard to get a word in edgewise. I mean, good gracious,
I've
woman.
been doing readings since last year. I do collective readings. I do single readings.
So you can just do them right over Zoom, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or YouTube, whichever, you know, my platform is.
Okay.
Come in, ask for readings. We do readings.
Excellent. Folks, the healing part of it, I'm telling you, we're going to get to a point where we're going to be needing the ability of community healers.
Yes.
Yes.
This is the time. This is the training time.
This is what I teach.
See?
I teach how to use your word, your intention, your heart, coupled with your biology, to literally program the expression or dis-ease that has gone from a feeling, a sensor, to pain, to an expressed malady.
Yep.
Yep. You can take mama ladies, maladies, mother's ladies, the divine gnostic dia, the diagnostic, the material cells. You can reprogram it. You don't need a degree to do it. You, in your innate nature connected to your higher self, is all you need as the battery, the flashlight to put it on. Turn on your offspring. Your offspring is here and here. Turn them on and turn your heart on. Turn off the brain and turn on the heart. You can do it.
It all comes back to that heart.
Yeah. And I'm hearing Neil Diamond. Turn on your heart light.
Yeah.
Let your light shine wherever you are. Don't wake me up too soon. Want to fly away to the moon. You and me. Anyway, that's a great song, by the way.
Hear what you just said. I pathway to the moon, to Lilith.
Yeah.
Highway to heaven.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, folks. That's worth at least $1. Come on, donate to the food bank. That alone was worth the price of it today. Well, Ian, I will email you. I'd love to have you on the show on a one-on-one, and love to have, these panel discussions are kind of cool. I mean, we did this for the food pantry, but there's a symmetry that I'm seeing here that I like this.
I line up because let's look at it this way. as one light speaker to another light speaker, there's so much rapid acceleration that we can do with these phonemes, these holy words, that will allow the libraries to be written in thought, multiple libraries that have been lost, restored at once. 0 point, which is shaped like a heart. Love.
There we go.
I love
this
you.
Is far out. Much love to you, my brother. And you two ladies, well, y'all are just, it's just a dose of sunshine. And Lois, next time, I'm teasing you. I love you, darling. You're just the wonderful people. Let me know how this works. I'll put all of both of your YouTube. And Ian, do you have a YouTube channel yet? You need to have one.
I do have a couple of channels that I'm on. If you look up my name, Ras Ian Nathaniel Dawkins, that's the way I compose or combine my main channel name, which is Ras Makeda Selasiar. It's kind of hard, it's a mouthful. And my awakening classes comes up as Ian Dawkins. But I'm unifying all of that now under the Iron and Clay Ministry, and we'll have a podcast stream of information going out for those who want to catch up at their own pace.
Send me the your links on those, and I'll repost them when I repost this. Lois, would you like to say anything?
Thank you, guys. Thank you for all your help. Y'all are always great, and I appreciate everything that you do.
We love you, Lois. You're just wonderful. And Maria, my Maria. I'm sure you never heard that before.
Nah, I don't think so.
No. Well, Steiger, that was an original.
I just want to say, much love, light, and peace for everybody. Namaste. And I just want to thank you, Wayne. It was an honor to be on your show. I was over here a little bit nervous over here. I'm like, oh my God, what to say? Don't mess it up. This is Wayne's show.
Mouth and let the Holy Spirit fill it with words.
It's the right combination of people that you put together.
That's what it is. Yeah. This is like a good bouillabaisse. I love that, boy. I mean, anyway, I digress. Well, thank you all, and Lois, you have been more of an inspiration in so many ways. You're on many different channels, but you are truly kind of like, the queen mother of the community. It's kind of like how I see that. Mm-hmm. And, it's a great position of honor, and it's just an honor to have you on, Maria and Ian as both. And I thank you all. And let's see if we can put up some groceries up there. I think we're going to do all right, Lois. I really do.
Thank you.
All right. Namaste to everybody. Be good. Love yourselves, because in the end, that's the only one that's going to count. So that's why I look at it. And we'll see everyone, I guess, on Monday. Is there anything coming up? Lois, do you have a show coming up? Maria, Ian, that you want to get people invited over there now?
I haven't planned anything yet.
Okay. Ian?
No.
Okay.
I am going to do some more healing work next week. And what I will do, I will email you the link to the event invite on Facebook if you're on there, or if not, on Google.
Yeah.
And we can all do it again. But I think we're going to be so busy over the next few days, because that great burst of energy that we've all been waiting for
has arrived.
It has already started. Those of us who are receptors are receiving the cold burn. And if you're used to it, or you can desensitize your human frailty of, oh my God, it's coming, get over the fear of it. Just think of it as if you were pregnant for a long time and it's now time to give birth to something new. You should be relieved,
You talk about giving birth. Hold on a minute.
It's not the same type of birthing that you're used to from the lower chakra. This time the birthing is coming through your higher chakra, and you are the baby that's becoming new. Your cells are rejuvenating.
So as Ian's talking, I'm hearing Roger Daltrey, you know, love, rain on me, you know, anyway. So anyway.
That's what it's all about. It's just nothing but increasing that love, because that love that you have in your heart is going to stop anything that's going to try to come for you. Okay.
Right.
Right on. All right. Much love to everyone. Thank you, Lois. Let me know how it went, and we'll continue to promote this as well, my dear.
All right.
Okay. Bye-bye, everyone. Be good to yourselves.